What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another educational video. Today we're doing some unranked to masters. It's game 2 of the fresh account, playing against Aurelian with Syndra. I opted for Airy this game just because I wanted to make sure that I was able to influence the jungle matchup. The nice thing about this matchup, though, is that if Aurelian ever actually roots themselves to Q, you can just basically full combo them. It looks like we're being invaded. Unfortunately, I'm not able to or anything like that. Uh-oh. I fucking hate Kane. Alright, we'll just go and trade flashes, whatever. What a tragedy. Unfortunately for us, we are going to lose a little bit of XP, but I'll take a free QB. Generally speaking, the reason why we want to pursue aggressive trades on Syndra in general is just so that we can build up splinters. The faster you get your upgrades, the better. And typically you're running first strikes, so you actually generate money off of doing so, but CS is always the priority.
God, he's a simp.
Another added benefit of trading aggressively is that if you control their resources, they're unable to actually rotate or roam when necessary. And if you're good enough at Syndra, you can actually convert that damage into a kill. So, we just go ahead and blow our cooldowns, we back up and make some space. And then we just prioritize farming until we have the ability to use our spells again. And here we probably end up getting this guy's flash if we're lucky. Unlucky. Could've just waited for him to use EQ like that. We'll probably end up seeing Aurelian TP back, so I'm gonna go ahead and match that. I'm expecting to happen, so we're just gonna go ahead and hard push this. And then that way I can also reset and spend my money. We're not running Futures Market because we're not on first strike page, so probably end up going some combination of items. If I didn't miss that CS, I may have been able to afford Tome Dark, which would have been nice. You know, I'm actually going to do this. I don't need the potions anyways. Let's go on power bottom. Alright, if he wants his caster minion, we're going to force him to trade for it. Nice. We're going to position aggressively in front of the minion wave, so that way you can look for Qs, and that way whenever he walks up, we're just basically applying threat. And the reason why it's so important to land your combination spells is because you are getting mana back from getting your Splinter. So you're just being maximum efficiency in that capacity. Currently no flash, so we are just looking to abuse it if we can. Wouldn't surprise me if this Aurelian decided to Q directly in front of me for a minion, so unlucky. Looks like Graves wants a tower dive, so we're just gonna hard push this. Nice, good stuff. He actually he got executed though. It's all fine. We would have killed him by ourselves if we didn't miss. Anyways, if you ever kill somebody in lane, typically the first thing you would want to do is hard push the wave. This is just because there is no way for Aurelian to get the CS otherwise. Sometimes you just gotta think to yourself, is the enemy jungle in the area? Can I die to it? If the answer is yes, just leave, and you can fix it later. If you're at if no threat of dying, you can just go and take a plate, or you can shove the wave in. Unfortunately for us, Aurelian died on a cannon wave, so he's gonna get back to lane in time. And we overstayed at this point, which means now we have 1,000 gold in our inventory. This is one of the most common mistakes that low elo players make, is that they'll overstay with a ton of money, and they'll never find another good moment to actually recall. Fortunately, Aurelian's not too focused on actually fighting us and more focused on the wave. We could have actually killed him if we had enough mana for the E. Should have popped another biscuit if I could. But again, overstaying is a huge problem. Make sure that you decide what your gold breakpoints are. For example, every single item has a cost associated, so gold breakpoint would be 1,100 gold for Lost Chapter. Or you can just break an item down into an even smaller amount. So it's like, I can recall with 665 and be fine. Because it is a significant power spike for me. Obviously, it's more efficient to reset on bigger amounts just because you're not risking losing as much CS. Because typically when you recall, you are going to end up losing 6 minions if you leave on a normal wave. But if you recall on a cannon wave, you lose basically 1 or 2 at most. So depending on how you reset, you could lose nothing or you could lose everything. So optimizing your recalls is one of the easiest ways to just get yourself ahead. Alternatively, you can not miss 3 cannons like I have this game. Pebble Ward. This ward lets you see ramp and jungle camp. You go Keystone depending on what the matchup is. If you have an aggressive jungler, you go Airy so that you can actually leave lane and run around. And if you're in a slow matchup or a slow jungle matchup, you can just go First Strike. That way you're just getting money for laning. Because the damage doesn't matter if you're not actually using it for anything. Okay, we got flash, not bad. We have kill potential once our ult comes up, so we're going to look for an extended combo. Nice. Again, we're going to hard shove and make sure that we're denying CS to Aurelion. Fortunately, it is a cannon wave again, so... This is probably another big mistake, is that I see that a lot of low players will make the mistake of only using their spells on half the wave, and then you lose a lot of efficiency that way. Especially when I do VOD reviews with silver gold players, they'll only use spells on half of the wave. But if you're being optimal, you can just hit the entire wave, and that way you're buying yourself more time. It's just all about momentum. If you can be efficient, you should be efficient. If you can use your spells as fast as possible, you should do so. Because I see a lot of people try to wait as long as possible, and then they'll just end up losing the moment. I think I actually would have preferred tier 2 boots this game, just so that I can space. But raw AP is really good, just for straight damage trades. Tier 2 boots are nice, because you can always get in range to look for combos, or just run around the map. But it does delay your mythic spike. Anyways, we're going to use a single minion to hold the wave over here, and then that way you can look for an aggressive trade. It doesn't matter that slow pushing, because in the current moment, Aurelion's not able to approach the wave without just insta-losing. And he won't be able to stop me from shoving it in either, so he can't freeze it. This just means that he loses CS no matter what. And looks like we've ult in 3 seconds, so we can probably just look for another all-in. Thinking about flashing right now, but I don't even think it's worth it since Aurelion has no TP. So we're just going to tower dive him. We're going to run past him and then just loop around if we can. It looks like he actually just gave up. Unfortunately, we missed basically everything right there. Otherwise, it would have been an insta-kill, I think. I made a mistake of using my Q initially because I wanted to set up a 6-ball ultimate. But at that time, I should have just gone for a QE, WQ. But we did get a huge amount of damage, and there's no way for him to recover here. Uh-oh. No. We can recover. Nice. This is like a roller coaster of up and down, up and down. This way we'll bounce back, so we're just going to go ahead and spend our money and buy out. And we're building up on those Dark Seal stacks. We got 143 AP right now. Arian Scorch has done a wonderful job this game so far of giving us extra poke damage. Typically, I feel like people overcompensate on their spells and they overlead it. Especially in this rank. As long as you're casting directly on top of somebody, there's no way they can actually outspace your spell projectiles. They travel too fast. It's only when you actually lead your skill shots where you give them a chance to dodge it. We have some pretty good vision around bot side though. I could always just roam in the bot lane right now since they're overextended. Or we could just kill Kayn here. The reason I walked away there is because I didn't want him to smite and ult me and then dodge my ult. And it's important to be flexible with combos. I'm leading with QE there at max range. I don't land the first Q, but I get the follow-up damage, which is really good, right? Because if you only try to QE when you're in range to cast the first Q directly on them, then you'll basically just not get as many chances to find damage. That's where a lot of Syndras struggle as well. Just gonna wait until my cooldowns come back up. Yoink. I do have a shit ton of money, so we're just gonna go back and buy Magi's. And we'll run back in the mid lane. I can TP for immediate dragon pressure if we need it. Come here, dragon. Oh, you actually spaced it. You have no boots. It's kind of wacky, actually. We have ult in 9, so I'm just going to go ahead and let my Q recharge up, and maybe we look for QEWQ. If he tries to charge Q in front of us, it's basically just dead. Nice. That's kind of thing with control mages, and just mages in general, is that if you're very good at tethering and spacing when it comes to trading, getting early item leads is such a strong incentive for just snowballing on the game. Again, people will fight you no matter what. People in lower elos don't really know how to stop the bleeding, and they'll just keep trying to trade with you no matter what. So as long as you have those chances, you'll just end up finding an opportunity to take the game under your control. We should probably not take this. This is too early. It's 14 minutes. Too early. I should have E'd the Gwen, but I wasn't paying attention. My team doesn't care. Alright, so now they get a bunch of free gold mid lane. We do have infinite pressure. We already had pressure, so it didn't really matter that we took it. I'll go bot lane now, though. I think about going Rabbit on second, because I already have Magi's. I can just always pivot the Shadow Flame if I have a battery set. I'm gonna steal all this guy's CS. Yeah, Supers gives them more money, but we're not able to actually take that presence in mid lane and translate it as easily to the other parts of the map. Because every single wave they're getting an extra siege minion for like 100 gold. So we're basically on a timer, right? It's like we gotta continue to progress the game, and most people will not group up and they'll just end up farming mid lane for free. Or they'll just die and give over shutdowns. Probably end up seeing Aurelion Q in front of us again for no reason. I'm waiting for Blitzcrank though. Yoink! We have vision of one mid lane, we have vision of one bot side. We see 2 mid lane. As long as we have safe enough numbers, we can kind of just look for whatever. Oh, wow, that's a nice E. Tier 2 outside are worth more than Tier 2 inner. It's like 600 gold for this tower and 300 for this one, so a little bit more valuable in that capacity. Always TP top if they need me. We see 4 top right now, we see 3, so there can only be 1 person bottom. We'll probably end up getting this tower for free. Fortunately, there's no Baron or anything to do right now. I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to walk over here and wait for someone to face check me. Hopefully it's not a ward or anything like that. Of course he checked. Unlucky. He could smell the bloodlust in the air. Alright, so I waited for the vision to run off, and now I just run back in. Again, we have so many stats that even if we're terrible at the game, it doesn't really matter at this point. The plants actually saved me. My Mejai's. So now we have 2 options here, which is we either go Shadow Flame to get even more AP for our Rabadon stacking. They are not really building magic resist, and we are secondary AP, so... Alternatively, the option would be Void Staff, so that way we just have permanent scaling with all our items. Void Staff is also cheaper, which makes it a little bit easier to itemize with the components being cheap. So it just depends. Do we want to have an even stronger spike, or do we just want to make sure we have infinite scaling? Like, if you look at it objectively, regardless of which one we build, we're still going to one-shot every player on their team, so... Choosing the scaling option's technically better just because we're not overloading on stats. It's always good to have AP, but if you're going to kill somebody by 500 damage over their health bar, you can just itemize scaling or survivability. Just waiting for that W to run out. Baron would probably be the easiest way to close this game out, so we gotta wait till 20 minutes no matter what. We could take inhibitor without minions, but I just want the minion wave, so... Pain. What do you think about Victor? I think Victor's just always consistent. Just I prefer Syndra. Nice, good ult. We have Uter pushing out top lane, so we actually have a really good map macro right now. A V in 1. Ult and A, we probably find people inside their spawn. I messed up terribly. Oh my god. It really doesn't matter if we kill Gwen. The game is already over. Like, we're 8 to 24. We just have to push into their nexus and end. It's a bit of a time loss. It's all good though. If they try to defend this, they just lose for the other lanes. But it looks like they've just given up on defending it, so... It's crazy how much damage W does in the middle late game. Honestly, we might even get a penta here if we're lucky. Just kidding. GG. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. TY.